Hello everyone, in the previous video, we mainly discussed some operations on directories and folders in Animcraft. This video will focus on some operations related to resources. The first thing we want to introduce is opening a resource. For example, let's select this resource, let's open a directory. You can see that this resource corresponds to the disk. After opening it, you can see that it's a man. With his skill, a sword. Its name, the name of this resource, it's not just a simple specification. Instead, it is a rule our system follows to read all resources. In other words, if you manually modify this thing, it will bring issues. Therefore, when we make changes, for example, when we rename it, during operations, it's best to do it within the software. For example, if we want to rename it, I'll click on Rename, press Ctrl+X to make a note of it, testing the renaming. When you open this directory, you'll notice that all the elements within the accompanying resources have been renamed, including the resource itself. The original folder has also been changed. Test rename. This is the concept of an atomic folder. That is, everything inside this folder cannot be further divided. The smallest unit that our software can recognize is the atomic folder starting with a CC. Okay, let's change it back. Ctrl+V. We just change it back. Remove the underscore. There is a repeated name. Let's choose another name. Okay, the motion has been renamed back. It's atomic. When system read it, it will seek for the accompanying resources of identical name. Then, next, let's talk about the deleting. Let's first make a copy. Open the robot folder. The same as previous video, because we're going to test deletion, we need to make a copy of it. Put it here. For example, after copying it, refresh it here. You can see the robot have been copied here. There are 2 copies, and there are 2 ways to delete. The first method is to select an item and delete it directly. The second method is to select multiple items with a drag selection and delete them at once. Of course, you can also directly delete folders. When deleting a folder, it will delete all the contents in the subdirectories. Let's select and delete them all. Okay, finally, delete this folder. This way, it is clean. Finally, what we want to introduce is the move of a resource to another location. First, let's say we create a subdirectory inside here. For example, we create a subfolder called test move. Now, let's move some resources into it. For example, let's select these 3, right-click and hold, and drag them into test move. You can see it's empty here now. Let's move this one in as well. You can see all its resources have been moved in, and this directory is now empty. It's straightforward. Let's move it back. Right-click and hold and drag. Okay, these 3. We moved them back. Okay, this is how you can move resources in Animcraft. These are some operations for managing resources in Animcraft. It's a bit different from folder operations. Thanks for your watching.